Good morning, man.
Morning. How's it going?
Well, it's going pretty good.
Episode 2.
Episode 2, man.
Congratulations.
Very cool.
Yeah, we haven't been kicked off YouTube yet, so this is fantastic.
Pretty exciting.
Yeah.
So,
Good morning, everybody. Metal and Mash.
Metal and Mash, Episode 2. I'm Aaron, and
Adam.
that's Adam. So, we, today, are just a couple of dudes that like to do things and that involve whiskey and metal. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. We've got Job for a Cowboy's new record lined up.
Yes. It's a great drop.
What do you think about it?
So I've listened to multiple songs off of here. Been my Friday ritual, as I mentioned last time. And, dude, I think that they came back with a pretty solid album.
Well, we're going to find out. Because I have not heard any of it yet, and I've waited for today. I've got the dog here today.
It's Dio.
This is Dio, named after the master. And
He is a holy diver.
Indeed. What are we sipping on today?
So today we've got Yellowstone. Yellowstone is a great whiskey in Kentucky. I believe 1872 is when they founded, and they did it based off of love for the park. So it was kind of their tribute to the first national park in Wyoming, where I originate from.
Cool.
This is a barrel pick, so no two bottles are going to taste the same. This is bottle 9921 at 115 proof. We, like last time, starting the morning off with a little bit of spice.
Yeah.
Didn't see the mash bill. Not exactly sure what's in it as far as percentage. We know it's a bourbon, so it's at least 51% corn. And did a little research about them. It's kind of cool. In the 1920s, they actually survived the Prohibition because they got a little bit of a hall pass, if you will, to prescribe alcohol.
Interesting.
For those who were deemed in need.
I feel like isn't there other places that was like that too?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Several places survived.
I feel like I heard about that.
Yeah. So there was and probably guaranteed that those people had leeway with some lawmakers, and that's
cool.
Yeah. I mean,
got to get around it somehow to keep it going. But this tastes great, man. This is a really good. It's not overly powerful for a higher proof. You know.
Well, and so I love the collaboration that you and I have created because you tell me what band we're listening to, and then I try to match a whiskey. So today we have Job for a Cowboy.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, cowboys are in Yellowstone. So it seemed like a pretty good mix.
Well, we are going to dive in with a couple of songs. I picked 4 songs at random, and so this first track is called Etched in Oblivion. Let's see how that goes. Okay.
Right to it.
Good way to start. Kind of sludgy. Now, I haven't listened to a lot of Job for a Cowboy since Genesis, like way back.
That was like, what, their second or third album?
Maybe, I don't know, maybe like first. I'm not sure. The one they talked about the Antichrist a lot. That's all I know.
Well, their first album was definitely deathcore, early deathcore, and now they've kind of. This is not deathcore.
No,
and I love it.
Ooh, I love that little transition there. This production is so clear. I don't know who's playing instruments for them these days, but I know for a minute, the drummer that was for Job for the Cowboy was playing for Behemoth when I saw Behemoth.
Super fast, clean, amazing drummer.
Oh, it's fantastic. I wonder if it's the same guy. I'll have to look that up. I often find it fun to try to, see who's doing what.
Right.
One thing I do notice about this production is how clear the bass tone is too. I could clearly hear the delineation between the guitars and the bass. Ooh, that's so smooth.
And the voice. You just know it's Job for a Cowboy. I love that.
Yeah. That's really great.
Yeah.
Well, good pick so far. Cheers to Etched in Oblivion. Woo.
And this is what, Moonhealer? Isn't that the name of the album?
The album is called Moonhealer. Excellent cover art. We'll display that later on. And I would most definitely have that art on my wall. That looks great. It almost looks like something I would get tattooed on me too.
I was going to say that could be a really cool back piece.
Yeah.
Like full surface area.
Totally. Now they've always had really technical guitar parts, but this is almost technical with, there's a lot of rhythm and feel in behind it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like they're just sort of taking their time to get to the really beef parts.
Well, I think that, you know, the label and identifiers have put them more as like a technical tech death band at this stage with their career. But you said it right at the beginning, very sludgy.
Yeah. I don't recall the first couple of offerings they had being anywhere like this. I mean, there's obvious things that stick out. When I think about the old job for the Cowboy, it doesn't sound like this, like,
right.
sonically. So they've come a long way with the production quality playing. I like the good mix with the vocals too. They're nice and prominent, but not too loud, you know?
Right.
Just really well produced. That's atmospheric.
Yeah, they do have like an ambient atmospheric tone back behind there.
I like that bass, man. Kill it. I love death metal octaves, dude. The rise after that.
I love watching your face when guitars make you happy, dude. It's great.
Man, they do, man. That's what I'm in it for. You know, all the other stuff is cool, but I'm listening to the guitars first, you know.
Well, seeing you at shows, like I don't know how many times you smacked me on the arm and pointed at the guitar player and be like, dude.
You just watch what they're doing. It's crazy. That was awesome.
Yeah, it was. Well done. You know, I love when they hit the very top dome of the cymbal. For some reason, that ting, that high ting,
like the bell
of
the cymbal. Yeah.
It just, I love how they integrated that into that song for sure.
I agree. Well,
I mean,
first
I would
track
rate
is
that.
Great.
Yeah, way to start it off well.
All right, so we're gonna go straight into the grinding wheels of Ophenum. Interesting title for a song.
I mean,
who's Ophenum?
Probably Google that. Find a definition.
Yeah. Who or what is Ophenum? If you know, put it in the comments.
That's right. Actually, please, someone comment at all. Would be great.
Tell us about it. Okay. Oh my gosh. I love the way that blasts in.
I like how they lull you in just a second, and then boom, here you go.
Here's the thing I noticed about this part. The drums, absolute chaos. The guitars are playing chords and arpeggios. Just those single notes and just like an open chord.
Yeah.
But those drums and the bass are just all over the place. That's cool how they do that.
Ooh,
Oh,
yeah.
that riff.
With a good...
That makes me want to learn that riff like right now.
Well, I have a feeling I know it'll be on your YouTube channel later.
Oh, these guys are too good. I couldn't do this. Ah, that low note, man.
Yeah.
So that's another thing. Like bands that use those uber low note tunings, sometimes that gets under my skin a little bit.
Yeah. I think it was about 2 weeks ago you said that was all in your Spotify playlist recommendation that week, and it just drove you nuts.
It does, man. But when bands use it tastefully here and there, I can dig that.
Well, I think that there's a difference between sparingly and you kind of get the appreciation versus this is all we're going to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When the band shows up with 9-string guitars, I'm sorry, it's just not my thing. We'll cover some of it, though. Because I do like to check it out to see if is there that one band that's going to change my mind? You know what I mean? I'm always curious. What do you guys think of this Job 4 Cowboy record, huh?
I like the fill on the drum. That walking down is just quick and clean.
Yeah.
So that's, I think, one of the things that drives me. I like a solid riff. Love a guitar solo, but drums is a beat. I love beat, and when it's too chaotic, it's easy to get lost. But your point of how the guitars were consistent and the drums and the bass were chaos does tie it together.
Yeah.
But then, like now the guitars are going crazy,
it's
and then the drums have
pretty simple basic beat, and the guitars are just wailing, dude. That's good dynamics. You aspiring metalheads out there, check that out.
Yeah, and then back.
Who else has done stuff like that? I think of. Well, this is a pretty simple, basic kind of thing, but like, if you even go back to the roots of some stuff like AC/DC, for example,
right.
They always had that 4/4 basic backbeat with chord progressions over top.
Yeah,
it's not dissimilar to what we're hearing here, you know.
Well,
as far as structure goes,
right. I think AC/DC was the very basic, and they did it well.
Of course.
I mean, and then you got Jim Brewer making fun of him.
Oh,
pokey pokey.
I love his stand-ups. We were lucky enough to see Jim open for Metallica once. It was incredible.
He's making fun of James. Ooh yeah.
Ooh yeah. So this is kind of ethereal. Like those tones. The heavy build up. That's different. See,
I was not expecting that.
That was a time change a little bit.
Yeah.
There. That was pretty cool. I wrote a riff like that once in the background.
Yeah, I was expecting this part
The other
8 bars ago.
Yeah. This dog is living his best life. He just hangs out.
You know, both of us aren't small. I've always pondered what that would feel like to have something large enough to cradle me like that at this age.
Yeah, I think about that all the time. Like, why don't I have a giant to carry me around and just let me sleep?
They would only need to be like, what, 80 feet tall?
I know, right? I love this part. This sounds great.
Once again, you chose really well with the.
Well, I'm just enamored by the production quality, and I'll have to figure out and dive into what kind of amps and instruments they're using, because those tones sound great. Oh, what's going on in the background there? Kind of like that.
Yeah,
something out of a horror movie.
Little fadeaway creepiness. That's
nothing more.
And nothing more.
I dig that. So the next song is called "The Forever Rot."
The Forever Rot.
This song is awesome. This is definitely one of them I've really honed into. It was. Yeah. I think they released 3 songs before the album dropped.
All right. So let's see what we got.
One of them they dropped like 2 days before the album came out.
Okay.
Which is always interesting.
That's cool. Interesting. Again, man, I just wonder how you come up with that. Are you stoned when you come up with that? Have to shoot them a question. Shoot them an IG and ask them. That's a cool riff.
Yes, this is a good. I would almost even consider this like groove.
Yeah, there's groove in there for sure. That's groovy. But what's cool is the riff didn't change, but the drums did.
Right.
So now they're just kind of like, they were just like that double kick in there.
This reminds me a little bit more of kind of classic original job.
Yeah. Yep, I get that for sure. It's funny because I think whenever I first heard about this record coming out, maybe Ola had it on his channel, and he was talking about the bass being so prominent.
Yeah.
And boy, was he right. I mean, it is really prominent.
Yeah, they have those
that.
levels turned up pretty high.
Yeah, and not only that, it's just the clarity of it. It's just that's what's allowing it to be so in the face. A lot of bands put, I don't know if it's just the way the player plays or what, but that it doesn't. I don't hear a whole lot of like grindy distortion with the bass. It just seems clear.
Yeah.
And they've obviously got the bass turned down in the guitars. Like there's very low bass frequency in the guitars to let the bass kind of do its work. I like that when bands do that. Ooh.
I've always thought that they've had great guitar solos.
Oh yeah. Very well done. That's sweet. That's those riffs, that everyone knows the metal riff that makes your face go.
The stank face.
Yeah.
See, that's a face you want to make with metal, but not a face you want to make with whiskey.
No.
Because if the whiskey's making you make that face, something has gone horribly
Something
awry.
has gone wrong.
Yeah.
I love the drummer's work on this, man. Really stepped it up.
You've got to get the best cardio.
Oh, dude. To have the stamina to play something like this live, I mean, I know just to play the meager stuff we used to play, it's like, it would wear me out.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine playing stuff like this. I see these, some of these bands as we go and see these crazier bands, and they're just drenched, and they're all like, shredded. You know?
Absolutely.
Talk about the cardio and shit they have to go through.
Well, and then you think about, the lifestyle when you're on tour.
Yeah.
And to be able to maintain your functionality 5 shows in, 10 shows in.
Yeah, no doubt.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be looking up, see what kind of amp tones they're using. That's solid. I just like how well it's blending with everything. A lot of people use digital modelers these days, like the way of the amp, the guitar amp was kind of like taking a step back.
Huh.
Everything is, well, at least far as live goes, studios, they'll still use a lot of the amps, but on the live setting, most people travel with digital modelers like neural DSP units and fractal audio. They're pretty close to real amp tones, but I don't know. There's something about a real amp that still gets me.
Well, probably no different than those people who are still now back on the vinyl kick versus the digital recording.
Now, this is an interesting piece of music right here.
Yeah.
That effect is bizarre.
Alien-esque.
Trying to picture what that effect would be, like if I was looking at an effects board. What's making that sound? I bet Bevar would know. If you're listening to this, Bevar,
Tell us.
tell me what that effect is.
It almost sounds like they
Tremolo?
put a distortion pedal on a sitar.
Yeah, I feel like I'm hearing some tremolo in there, but it's got a weird wobble. Those palm mutes are perfect. What
Dio,
a player, dude.
Yeah, Dio loves being an instrument. I can tell you're just, you're strumming away
Well,
on
he
those
gets
hind
it.
feet, and he's digging it.
He gets it a lot, yeah.
Passed out.
See, the bass is doing a solo, too, while the guitars are.
Bass players don't get enough love. I'm
No,
not
they
going to
don't,
lie.
man.
And they should, because...
They've always gotten dissed at the end of it.
Yeah.
All right. So the Forever Rot.
Well done. Love
Next
it.
up, and last on our list, is the Agony Seeping Storm. I like the sound of that. That's probably going to be a good way to start.
Yeah.
When the drums start like that, I know something crazy's coming.
Well, basically starts off with the drums into a guitar solo, which
Yeah.
is a great way to... Because why not?
Because why the hell not?
What number is this on in the track list as far as...
It's toward the back.
Okay.
That's all I know.
Towards the
It
end.
might have been the end of the song, end of the album. Because I tried to grab a couple things from the front, one in the middle, and then one
Couple
at the
from
end. I feel like that gives you a good...
Yeah, people have something to look forward to, the progression, if we've inspired you to listen to this album.
Because I think this album has, 13 tracks on it or
Something
something?
like that.
So you got a good taste of it here today. But what will you think of it when you listen? I'm like, I can't wait to listen to the whole thing.
I've enjoyed it. It's a good album.
Ooh. That's angry. It's almost like this bass player was a big Primus fan.
That guy, probably one of the best, alternative, no, he's not industrial, but alternative bassists. Primus is crazy.
Primus was bizarre. Sure. Les Claypool, everybody. If you don't know who Les Claypool is, go check out his work in Primus. He's a bass player genius.
He is. And
But
really weird.
If I could think of a couple of bass players that this guy's reminding me of, obviously Les Claypool, but maybe Geddy Lee from Rush, Alex Webster,
Yeah.
Cannibal Corpse. Sometime in the future, we're going to talk about the wild and crazy bass players of heavy metal that doesn't get all the love.
Yeah, I think that we've got some pretty good ideas for some episodes, and definitely badass bassists, I think was an idea we threw around.
We'll definitely bring...
And definitely in the comments section, if you have ideas for shows or specific
Tell us what you
whiskeys that you'll twist our arms to have to go buy. If it's allocated and it's $2,300, Pappy, probably not going to happen. Unless Buffalo Trace is listening and they want to send us a free bottle, then we're down. But
I'd be glad to review it for you.
yeah, we'll totally taste it for you.
I love that.
Dude, I'll never forget when I found these guys. I was just perusing and stumbled across them, and I told you about it. And you're like, dude, I've been listening to these guys forever. I love that.
Yeah, it was like, I think 2004-ish, 2003 is whenever I first got privy to the Job for a Cowboy. That was the first record, like I said. I think it was called Genesis, and it was just like basically a concept album about the rise of the Antichrist and
Right.
Fear Chip and all those kind of things that were scaring people at the time. And so, man, it was really cool. Just a great album.
Well, I think that first album was part of the MySpace deathcore phase. We had Suicide Silence and Whitechapel,
Yeah.
and I think that was part of that whole initial subgenre.
It was certainly a departure from the music I was listening to at the time.
Right.
In 2003, I was all about some new metal and things of that sort. But I was always into the heavier new metal, so we're going to get into some of that too.
Yeah. It had its place. I definitely have a whole new metal playlist, and I do enjoy a lot of it. And I think that you have that weird crossover, what's new metal versus what's rap metal.
Yeah.
Because I think you see, the Limp Bizkits and the Linkin Parks of the world that kind of teeter on both. But then you have Korn, which is kind of, I think, your quintessential new metal.
Yeah, for sure.
And it wasn't Chimera originally
Yeah.
new metal. Dude.
Wow.
You chose brilliantly there.
What a record that Job for a Cowboy has blessed us with.
Yeah.
And so for 4 killer tracks, please go check them out. Go check out Job for a Cowboy, Moonhealer.
Yeah. Good album.
And-
It came out, 3 weeks ago, I think?
Yeah.
And, store picks, or these are barrel picks, so Yellowstone. They actually promote that on their website. No two bottles taste alike. So
well, we'll have to put that to the test. We'll have to grab us another bottle sometime and see if we can taste a difference.
you have officially just twisted my arm. With that, cheers. And,
yeah, man. Cheers.
Thanks
Metal
for the
and Mash.
second episode, Aaron. Well done.
Metal and Mash episode 2. Check out episode 3 coming at you in a couple of weeks. All right, stay tuned.
Have a good one.